Recently, I decided to book a stay at the Wendover Nugget in West Wendover, Nevada. Now, this is not the first time that I have done reviews on casino properties that I have stayed at, and there's been no property yet that has gotten a perfect score. And today's video is going to be no exception. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're going to be grading the resort on 4 categories. The first category being lodging, the second category being gaming, the third category being customer service, and the final category is going to be amenities. And at the end of the video, I'm going to do a wrap up of would I stay at this resort again, why or why not, and an overall grade. Now, I always have 2 main goals anytime I do a review, whether that is on a game or whether that is on a resort, and that is to get you to think. There's a lot outside of just Las Vegas. I know everybody likes to think about Vegas every time they think about slot machines or gambling, but the United States is huge and we have a lot of gambling destinations out there. So really kind of getting your mind thinking of, hey, maybe I want to take a road trip to someplace new and check out a new place. And the second main goal of these reviews is, as a business owner myself, it is always good to get an outside opinion of what is going on in the operation. So whether you are a business owner, maybe you own a resort, or maybe you are a manager of a resort, or maybe you're a game developer, watching reviews is always helpful because you get to see that unbiased opinion of what people really do think about your product. As with any review, it is always subjective to change over time. If you're watching this video months from now or years from now, a lot of things might have changed, so don't ever be afraid to give a place another shot. This review is based on my personal stay. I stayed for 3 days. It was midweek in January of this year, which is 2024. So let's rope it in and let's get started with the Wendover Nugget Casino and Hotel in West Wendover, Nevada. Category number 1, lodging. Now, this is where the elephant in the room really comes into play. A lot of people out there, a surprising number of people out there, have a really bad taste or a really bad experience from the Nugget in the past when it comes to lodging and staying there. However, this actually has changed and it is still in the process of actively changing. The hotel itself is going through a remodel. They're actually currently still doing work. A lot of the rooms have been remodeled. Not all of them, but a lot of them have. The new rooms that are being redesigned are actually really incredible and really, really cool. Me personally, I stayed in a standard remodeled room, which was still really, really nice, but looking at some of the pictures of their larger suites or their bar suites are actually really incredible with a lot of really cool features. I'm excited to see those. I didn't get a chance to personally stay in one of those rooms this trip, but on my next trip, hopefully I'll be able to get one of those rooms so that I can do kind of a mini review, a little follow-up on what those rooms are like. I think a lot of people are really unaware that the Nugget has gone through so many changes and that these rooms that they're remodeling are actually really, really nice. They're worlds above what their old rooms were. And even when compared to the neighboring hotels like Peppermill or Montego Bay or Rainbow, comparing it to some of those other properties, their new remodeled rooms really do blow a lot of these other places way out of the water. Again, not all of their rooms are remodeled. This is still, as of the filming of this video, an active change. So if you do decide to book a stay at the Wendover Nugget, you do want to make sure that you're getting a remodeled room, or at least try to book one online or ask for some kind of an upgrade whenever you do arrive at the property. Some of the cool things that these new rooms do have are things like mood lighting, where you get to adjust the color of the lights, which is really quite cool. The fixtures are nice and everything looks really, really sweet. But aside from all of those positives, I think the only negative thing that I could really say about the room, which, I mean, it's not too big of a thing, but would be the bed sheets. The actual sheets on the bed, now the bed itself was comfortable, but the sheets on the bed to me were pretty scratchy almost. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe that was a one-off thing for just me, or maybe I just got a bad set of sheets or something like that. But that's really the only thing negative that I could say about the actual stay or the lodging at the Nugget. Overall, I would say that in the lodging category, the Nugget would get a B+. Just make sure that you are staying in a remodeled room whenever you do get there. And Please note that this is still an active change. They are still working on the property, so there are going to be some things that are not available. I know there was an elevator that was down when I was there on my trip, so they are actively working on this resort. So you might not, if all of the remodel rooms are sold out as of the filming of this, you might still get one of those older rooms, but just know that in time we will see eventually a 100% conversion rate, and these new rooms are really nice. Category number 2 is gaming. Now, when I first announced on our social media networks that I was going to be staying in Wendover, a lot of people were very quick to comment and say things like, oh, you need to go play at the Montego Bay, or you need to go play at Rainbow or Peppermill or someplace like that. And the thing is I've actually done a review on those properties in the past, and I've stayed at those properties quite a few times, and I've gambled there a lot. And in all my years and in all my experience with slots, and especially teaching the things that we teach here on these channels, and when it comes to things like game recommendations, what to play, what not to play, budget control, the Nugget far outpasses any of the other neighboring casinos when it comes to game selection and what is available. They've got the classics, they've got the newest style games, they have games that are hard to find, they have bet levels ranging from penny to 100, they've got it all. Whoever is in charge of designing the slot floor, ordering the machines, big props to them. They actually kept it very even keel. There's a huge selection there. You know, a lot of these casinos, you got to appreciate this. A lot of these new casinos out there, or even older casinos that are going through remodels, they're very quick to just change the floor and be like, you know what, we're just going to put all the high volatile games in there. We're going to do just all of the newest games, and we're taking all the classics out. Not here at the Nugget. The Nugget really, they saved all of those classics, all of those good games. They're still there. All of those ones that are getting taken out of Vegas, they still have. So huge props to them. Slot selection, A+, and overall for the entire slot department, slot gaming, that gets an A+ from me. Now, table games, that is a different story. The dealers rarely even smiled. They didn't have any personality at all. There were actually a couple of times that Ethan and myself were sitting at the table and we were playing, and I looked to Ethan and I said, you know what? I don't like the way this dealer's doing things. They're not even interacting with me. Let's go to another table. And we went to the other table, and the next dealer was the exact same way. I actually did get frustrated enough at the table games where I just pulled my chips back and said, you know what, I'm just going to go back to playing slots. I'm done playing these tables, because the interaction was so bad. I should not have to be in that position. And from talking to some of the other people, that was kind of the normal thing there for their table games. So whatever is going on with the table games department really needs a change. I have to grade based on what I see and what I experience during the review. And for that, unfortunately, table games, while slots got an A+, unfortunately, table games for this category, I'm going to have to give an F. So based on that, based on slots getting an A+, table games getting an F, unfortunately, that is going to pull down the gaming score, the overall grade total, to a C. Category 3, let's talk about customer service. Now, this category for me carries the most weight. Customer service is always number one. It is always the crucial, most absolute important part of any resort. Why is that? Well, whether you're on a family vacation or whether you're just passing through for the night on a business trip, or maybe you're a trucker stopping in, every interaction that you have with a employee can make or break your experience. And we're going to detail that in this section. I also do want to give a shout out to some of the employees that went above and beyond and really made this trip phenomenal for me. I had a fantastic time in most every single aspect. For starters, the slot department, the slot floor workers, the slot supervisors, the techs, the attendants, everybody in the slot department, phenomenal job. You guys did amazing. Not only were they always smiling and friendly, they were always checking on not just me, but other guests. They were active in doing their job, like walking around, checking on things, pushing in chairs, talking to guests. They were going above and beyond. Props to them. For all of you guys out there in the slot department, if you are watching this, amazing job. Kudos. Bonnie did an amazing job. Bonnie was the supervisor there. I remember Dallas. Dallas did a great job. There was another lady who, she was always smiling and friendly. She did the payouts super fast anytime I got a jackpot. She was on the ball. I can't for the life of me right now remember her name, but if I go back there, I will make sure to get her name, and then I will link it. I'll put a comment down below. I'll pin a comment with her name on it. So to everyone that works in the slot department, keep up the great work. You are noticed. You are doing a fantastic, phenomenal job, and you really made my trip over the top amazing. I had a fantastic time, so thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. The hotel staff and really anybody else that I ran into was also very nice. Pretty much everybody seemed to smile and be really friendly, whether it was running into a maintenance worker in the hallway or checking in at the hotel desk. Everybody was really nice. They were very friendly, and customer service was pretty top notch. The Players Club and the host were also phenomenal and incredible. I loved my interaction with everybody that I had with player relations, slot floor, hotel, all of that, except for table games. The restaurant staff was okay. I mean, it wasn't phenomenal. There was a couple things about the restaurant staff that really did irritate me. A lot of times Ethan and I would be the only people going into the cafe, and a lot of times we would go there, we'd walk in, restaurant would be entirely empty, and it's a wide open space, and we would stand there waiting to be seated, and it seemed like a lot of time. This only happened a couple times. It wasn't a regular routine thing, so I'm not going to deduct too many points for it, but it did happen occasionally where the host or the server was standing in the back just chit-chatting with friends or other workers at the time, and that was kind of irritating because it really did slow down the service where, you know, we would finally get seated, and then, you know, it would take a long time to either bring a drink out or take an order because they were busy chit-chatting. This did not happen all the time, but it did happen, so we are going to have to deduct some points for that. So restaurant staff was okay. They weren't phenomenal, but they were okay, and the actual service part, when we got our food and everything, was fairly average for a restaurant. Your experience, if you're a slot player and only a slot player, and you go to the Nugget, you're going to have a fantastic time. So for that, I've got to give it a little bit of a bump to a C. The last category, category number 4, let's talk about amenities. And this is where it gets really kind of cool and really kind of interesting. Now, it is important to note that Wendover itself, the city of West Wendover, Nevada, is widely known as a weekend destination getaway, meaning that it is going to be a drastically different experience if you go midweek versus the weekend. If you do go during the week like I did, just know that the amenities and the stuff that is actually open at not just the Nugget, but any of the other resorts as well, is usually very limited. They have a very limited selection. The Nugget, if you go during the week, your food option is really just limited to the cafe or Starbucks, whereas if you were to go on the weekend, they've got the steakhouse that is supposed to be very, very good. I did not get to experience that this trip. Again, my next trip that I do go back, I will go on a weekend so that I can experience the other things that are open. But just know that if you do go during the week, if you're looking for additional food, the options are going to be fairly limited. And that's perfectly okay because, I mean, again, night and day difference between week and weekend when it comes to crowd size. But hey, if you're one of those people, if you're like, hey, I want a steak dinner or I want to go dancing out on the dance floor to the DJ, don't plan on doing any of that during the week. You're not going to be able to. Come on a weekend because that's when all of it is open and available. Now, if you're just coming for the gambling, or if you're like myself and you like a quieter environment with less crowds and less noise and hustle and bustle and all that, and you like to just be able to sit at your game and play in quiet and peace, then the week is perfect for you. Come during the week because that is the best time. You can get on any game you want to, get on any table you want to, and you can sit there and you can have fun and play. But if you are looking for other amenities outside of just gambling, then probably want to come on a weekend. Now, if you're a slot player, which I'm sure a lot of you out there are, you're going to really love this next perk. The Wendover Nugget has the best free play point conversion system and earning points and comps of any resort that I have ever been to, any place in Las Vegas and any of the neighboring casinos in Wendover. They have the absolute best point system. You earn points so incredibly fast here. And what I mean by fast is it is almost instantaneous how fast you can earn points here. Enough points to cover things like your meals, your stays, your free play. It's phenomenal. I myself was earning over $500 a day in point conversion to free play, over $500 a day. I could not do that in Las Vegas with the same budget. And really, you couldn't do that almost anywhere with the same budget. It is phenomenal how fast you can do it. Plus, really cool bonus perk on this one. You do not need to insert your own cash to activate your free play, which is really nice. If you got free play on your card, put your card in, you can use it right away. You don't need to add any of your own money to it. I have a buddy of mine who is an average gambler who doesn't gamble a whole lot, maybe a couple $100 here or there. stopped at the Nugget, visited once or twice, and even after that, he's getting offers for free stays, meals covered, free play, and it's good amounts too. I mean, these are amounts, the amounts that he is getting are amounts that I would get offered from a Vegas casino myself. So you can imagine, I mean, the points are just incredible. I cannot say enough good things about how this point system actually works here. Now, when it comes to points and when it comes to converting your free play, there is something very important that you need to know. Always, 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 always check your card the next day, because even though you are earning points actively through the day, there are some points that don't carry over until the next day. So a lot of times, I know I would sit there and late at night, I would put my card in, I'd have point play, use some of my point play down to zero, take it out, I'd go up, go to bed, come back down the next morning, and there's another $300 on there. So always check your card the following day. Don't leave the resort until you've actually checked your card, because you might have additional points that you can play on that just didn't register until the following day. So that's also really important to note. Overall, the Wendover Nugget has all of the amenities that Vegas got rid of. If you think back to the good old days in Vegas when you could sit there and you could play a little and you get all the, food comped and rooms comped and all of that without having to really go above and beyond. The Nugget has that, and that's really, really nice, and it's something that not a lot of casinos have, but their amenities, their point system, their free play, just absolutely phenomenal. Now, obviously, my trip was during January. It was during the winter, so I did not get to experience the outdoor pool. They do have a really nice outdoor pool, and they've got some other amenities that are more summer related. I didn't get a chance to check those out, obviously being winter, but I will absolutely go back during the summer and check those out next time I'm there. All right, let's talk about the overall, and let's wrap it up with the final grade. Overall, the Wendover Nugget in West Wendover, Nevada, I would really highly recommend. I think it's actually kind of sad that a lot of people have these negative memories about it, because the resort has changed so much. They've gotten in new management. They've gotten in new things coming in. They're doing a lot of active changes. This is a really, really good resort. Overall, I had a phenomenal time. Slots were great. They had a great selection. Food was good. Amenities were good. Rooms were clean. They were widely available. It was a great experience. I would highly recommend checking out the Wendover Nugget if you ever find yourself in northern Nevada. Salt Lake City is the closest major city to the Nugget, which is a little over an hour away by car. So if you are in the Salt Lake City area and you've never checked out the Nugget at Wendover, maybe you've checked out some other things. I'm sure if you're a gambler in Salt Lake, you've definitely been to Wendover. But if you haven't checked out the Nugget lately, maybe go back and give that a second chance. Definitely book a stay there. Give it a shot, because I personally had a phenomenal time. And to be honest, after this last trip, it is a place that I am definitely going to start going more of. I honestly believe that the Nugget at Wendover could possibly even replace Vegas as a destination that I go to on a regular basis, because those amenities are just way too good to pass up. And the slot machine selection is almost better than any casino that I would stay at in Las Vegas. So really, I had a phenomenal time. Highly recommend it. So here is the final grade breakdown for the Wendover Nugget in West Wendover, Nevada. Be sure to leave your comments down below if you agree or disagree with this. How was your experience when you were there last? Have you been there recently? Let me know. But here is the final grade breakdown. Lodging overall, the hotel, the rooms, and the stay gets a B+. Gaming, while the slot floor was amazing and the slot employees were amazing and the machines were amazing and everything in slots was amazing, table games unfortunately drug it down, bringing the gaming overall grade to a C. Customer service, kind of the same as gaming. First of all, a big shout out to the slot department, big shout out to the hotel department, housekeeping, the players club. You guys all did a phenomenal job, but unfortunately we did have to deduct points for those table games dealers, and also the inattentive couple times with the restaurant staff issue, bringing overall customer service grade to a C. Last but not least, amenities. Amenities are phenomenal at the Nugget at Wendover. You get amazing free play, you get amazing benefits. The prices are good. Even if you don't get comped things, the prices are really good. The only drawback to amenities is that it is very, very, very much reliant on the weekend. If you want to use all the amenities, you do have to go on the weekend, because a lot of things Most things at the Nugget are going to be closed midweek, and because of that, even though the amenities are amazing, because it is limited, it brings the overall grade down to a B. With all of that said and done, the Wendover Nugget receives an average grade from Cowboy Slots of a B-, which is actually really good. It is still above average, and 100% absolutely, I will go back there. Next time it'll be on a weekend, but I will absolutely go back there. Give this video a like, a subscribe would be nice, and I'll see you on the
Thanks so much for watching. Check out these other videos, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more slot tips. It's always free. Visit ropethejackpot.com for free guides and a whole lot more. Catch you on the next episode.